Welcome back to Squawk Box. Today, Samsung Electronics reported its second quarter earnings guidance this morning. Operating profit is expected to come in at 6.9 trillion won, down 4% year-on-year. This was below local market consensus of 7.1 trillion won. Revenues came in at 48 trillion won for the second quarter. This is down 8.3% year-on-year. But the stock is up. We don't have an official breakdown until the actual earnings release comes out. But again, the weakness is said to be coming from the IM division, the smartphone division. The S6 and the S6 Edge, which were Samsung's flagship phones that were on sale during the second quarter. According to Counterpoint, there were expected to have been 10 million phones shipped during the second quarter, but 4 million of them are seen to be left as inventory at retail stores. We'll have the exact numbers later on this month, but again, the weakness in its smartphone division is expected to have played a big part in the operating profit weakness at Samsung Electronics. Overall, the IM division operating profit is expected to come in at 3.1 trillion won, which is more than 10% lower than previous estimates. So I'll be watching out for those numbers when they come out. Susan, back to you.
You know, I get the sense that analysts, Samsung analysts, got a whiff that these operating profit numbers, this pre-announcement guidance forward for earnings was going to be disappointing because just in the last month, for some reason, 20 analysts, 20 of the 30-odd ones on Samsung out there actually ratcheted it down their expectations by 4%. I mean, that's a overwhelming majority. So they probably got the sense that there's going to be a shortage, a supply shortage of these S6s. They weren't shipping as many, and hence, you know, some of this disappointment in operating profit.
Exactly, Susan. Of the 23 local brokerages, 20 of them downgraded their expectations about within the past month before the guidance came out, and 2 of them had been expecting operating profit correctly, I guess, in the high 6 trillion won level. I guess this is coming from the data that we have been getting from research firms showing that the S6 and the S6 Edge sales were below market expectations. They did sell better than the S5, but they were still below market expectations. So I guess this is where the brokerages were getting their guesses from. Susan?
You know, Samsung still expects the S6 to be its best-selling device to date, by the way, and had some really good reviews when it launched just earlier this year. So what's the problem with this supply shortage? Is it getting the curved screens into these phones? They can't get enough of them in time?
Actually, Susan, when they first came out, the Edge was definitely facing a supply shortage. They couldn't get enough of these displays made. They were made by Samsung Display, which is an affiliate of Samsung. And Susan, like you said, they didn't have enough of these in production available. But later on, based on what we're getting from research firms, now it's not about supply shortage. It is more about demand, in that there are said to be about 4 million phones sitting in inventory at retail stores globally. So I guess this isn't any longer an issue of supply. Susan?
Interesting. Yeah, because they're also citing economic headwinds in Europe, of course, and also in China, which might be, you know, hammering down on Samsung sales. Okay, we're going to check in when we get to some more analysis on Samsung, because the stock is still going up despite the fact that we had a pretty big disappointment when it comes to this guidance forward for earnings.